In personal finance, $10,000 is often treated as the magic number for a savings balance. But hitting that five-figure milestone frequently creates a psychological plateau where you feel safe, so you stop optimizing. But today, we're going to be looking at why that $10,000 finish line is actually a wealth trap, and the math behind exactly what that feeling of safety is costing you. So let's talk about it. I am so happy to have you here with me today. Let's get started. When you hold $10,000 in a standard savings account, you aren't just protecting yourself, you're paying an invisible premium. Currently prevalent high-yield accounts like Wealthfront or SoFi are offering yields in the 3.5% range. And while some specialized banks do offer rates slightly north of 4%, the real return on a standard 3.5% account is often lower than it looks. Once you account for a 2.5% inflation rate and estimated 22% federal tax on that interest, your actual purchasing power is only growing by about 0.2% annually. You're essentially breaking even. Now, contrast that with the broader market. Historically, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of approximately 10% over the long term. Now, over 10 years, $10,000 in a 3.5% account grows to roughly $14,100. Now, in the S&P 500, at a 10% average return, that same $10,000 would grow to $25,937. So even after adjusting for a 15% long-term capital gains tax rate on your investment side, you are still looking at a gap of over $10,000. By playing it safe, with that entire balance, you've effectively paid a 100% insurance premium over a decade. And while safety is necessary, you may be over-insuring your capital, and that can lead to quiet stagnation where your wealth remains static while the broader economy continues to advance. So, to avoid stagnation, I suggest moving away from arbitrary round numbers and toward a system I like to call the three-bucket framework. This is going to allow you to visualize exactly what your money is doing. Bucket 1 is the operating fund. Now, this is the liquid cash in your checking account or high-yield account that you use to cover the current month's bills. Bucket 2 is your emergency fund, and this should cover your next 2 to 3 months of essential expenses, so housing, food, and insurance as an example. Now, this is going to be your safety net, so keep it in your high-yield account for immediate access. And bucket 3 is your investment fund. And this is every dollar in excess of the first two buckets. And this is going to be your growth engine. So the goal isn't to be cash poor. It is to be capital efficient. So let's look at a real world example. If your monthly expenses are $2,500, your cash need for your first two buckets, your operating and your emergency funds, is going to be roughly $7,500. So if you are holding $10,000 in cash, you have $2,500 in lazy capital. Now that $2,500 belongs in bucket 3, where it can begin compounding in the market. Now it's important to remember that every person's situation is unique. And if you have a variable income or you're currently paying down high interest debt, your risk tolerance is going to be different. So you should adjust these buckets to what makes most sense for your individual household. But make those decisions based on your actual data, not a random psychological milestone like $10,000. So when you align your cash to your actual expenses rather than an arbitrary round number, you stop playing defense. You move from simply maintaining your current situation to actively funding your future growth. And that's going to do it for today's video. Now, ultimately, $10,000 is just a milestone, not a destination. But by using the three-bucket system, you stop over-insuring your life and start funding your growth. Don't let the comfort of a magic number cost you the momentum of the next 10 years. Now, if you found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next one. And tell me, does the three-bucket approach change how you look at your current savings? How many months of expenses do you feel you need in bucket 2 to sleep well at night? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you know someone who's currently hoarding cash, then feel free to share this video with them. I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, I encourage you to dream big, to live well, and to do great things. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.